Ray-Pec community, hello. I'm Mike Slagle, Superintendent here with the Ray-Pec School District. We are here today with another installment of Staff Spotlight, and today my very special guest is Stephen Rew, Choral Director at the high school.
Yeah.
Stephen, welcome to the show.
Thanks so much for having me. These are really cool. I'm glad you're doing these
Well,
so people can get to know us a little better and get to know you more. That's great.
Thank you. This focus is all on you, and that's what I want to focus on. Tell me about yourself. How long have you been here at Ray-Pec and the history that you've gone to this point?
It depends if you want me to talk about, so when I was in 7th grade, I moved from Grandview to Ray-Pec.
Okay.
So I was here in 7th grade, 8th grade. I went all the way through high school. I'm a 1999 graduate from Ray-Pec High School. Went on to go to UMKC to become the choral director at the high school. That was my goal in life. In fact, my director's name was Stephen Rew. And actually our choir room's dedicated to Steve Rew. And him and I kind of worked out a deal. I was going to go to school. He was about 5 years from retirement. The music education degree takes 5 years, and he was going to give me that, recommendation to take his job. It was kind of our deal. And Mr. Rew tragically got cancer and passed away. And so my road took me different ways, and it's been an awesome ride. So I went my first job, believe it or not, I was a K through 12 band and choir teacher in a little town just south of here in Drexel, Missouri.
Yes. Okay.
I was there for 1 year. I'll be honest, I could have stayed in Drexel my entire career. They treated me, I was on the cover of the paper in the town before school started. They named me Teacher of the Year my first year of teaching. It was a blast. It was such a cool town. I made great friendships there. My friend Kenny Reese, who's since passed, was not only the custodian at the school, but he was the mayor of Drexel. Okay, that's the kind of town it was. And I probably would have stayed there a lot longer, but Pam Snocki, that's a name I'm sure you've heard.
Yeah,
she recently retired. I had been inspired to be a teacher by being her cadet teacher my senior year of high school. It turned my plans totally on their head to become a chemical engineer to going to be a music teacher. And Pam gave me a call and said, hey, we have an opening at Ray-Pec Middle School. I'd like you to consider applying. And I first said, Pam, I'm really happy in Drexel. I prayed about it, thought about it for a few days, and called her back and said, okay. I went ahead and put in my application. I went back and taught at the middle school for 3 years. Then found myself taking my master's courses at UMKC, where I'd done my undergraduate. And my professor there, my mentor teacher, Dr. Charles Robinson, offered me his GTA to become a graduate teaching assistant. Mm-hmm. And so I did that for a year. I took a year sabbatical from teaching, learned a lot. I guess I was still teaching at the college level. And then I've been back at Ray-Pec ever since. I taught at Eagle Glen, 5th and 6th grade, the best school that this district has ever seen. Mm-hmm. The staff of Eagle Glen was magical. Mm-hmm. And we had that for 8 years. And then I've been at the high school. This is my 4th year, and I'm loving every minute of it, reconnecting with kids that I knew when they were little baby 5th and 6th graders, and now they're pursuing their life streams and out in the world. So it's been pretty awesome.
That's an awesome story to get to this point. Excellent.
I guess, yeah, thanks.
I'd make a confession. So when I got hired here at the Ray-Pec School District, several people on the Kansas side that I knew mentioned you that I needed to come visit your classroom.
Oh, that's fantastic.
So
Thank
one of the first times through the high school, I came and visited your classroom. I could sense the camaraderie and the team feeling inside the classroom. What do you do that's different or special to create that feeling for kids about the sense of belonging and feeling in that choir classroom?
My goal is to make every kid seen. So in a normal year, kids would come into my room and I would greet them at the door every single time and make it a priority. In fact, it's a requirement to come into the room. You have to say hi in some way. That's been a lot harder this year than it has in the past. But when they were in 5th and 6th grade, the first day I'd say, if you want to make up a handshake, if you'd like to give me a high five, if you want to give me a handshake, just a regular one, or if you want to wave, if you're not comfortable, but you just have to say hi when you come in the door. And just that connection and looking them in the eye lets them know you care about them first. Yeah. I also learned a lot through my conscious discipline training that I still use. A lot of people consider it an elementary thing, but it's not. It's for all education. And one of the things that Dr. Becky Bailey talks about is having a playful mindset. And she always does that. Those of you who have done that training, because I think that's sign language for playful or something. Okay. I don't actually know. But she would always say, have a playful mindset. And that's what I do every day. I just have fun with kids. It's not a job. It's a lot of work. Right. But we come in and we're playful, and kids know I care about them. Just Friday night, I went and saw one of my seniors playing a soccer game in a soccer tournament over at Shields. And I brought my daughter with me. My wonderful 10-year-old daughter, Chloe, loves to play soccer. And so she came with me on a date night. We went out to dinner, And the kids get to know my family too. I talk about them all the time. I try to be a real person.
Yes.
Because when I was a kid, there were very few teachers that were, in my mind, real. You know, you'd see them at Walmart and you'd go, I saw my teacher at Walmart. Like it was some secret that they bought groceries. Like it was foreign to me because you only saw them at the school. I want the kids to see me everywhere and be involved in their lives. When they graduate, my work's not over. I have a text message group with my graduates where I just will send them like inspirational things throughout the week. I was like, how you doing? And let them know that. And so we kind of have our little groups of cohorts going for the kids that have graduated from Ray-Pec 2. And I'll get updates from them. And that's one of the great blessings of my life is to see them grow up. I love music. I'm passionate about my subject, but I don't teach music. I teach kids.
Yeah.
It just happens to be through music that I'm connecting with them.
Yeah, that's a great way to look at it. So this year is a year unlike any other, right? So tell me some of the transitions that has forced you to, as a teacher, to kind of relearn and to maybe pave new ways. I see a tent outside there at the high school that maybe you are taking some kids outside. So tell me some of the changes, the pivots you've had to make this year.
So yeah, as part of I'm also the president of Missouri Choral Directors. And so this summer when we went on to quarantine, I kind of made it my mission to know everything I could know to tell those directors for the Missouri Choral Directors how things should operate if and when we get back in the fall to singing. There were so many reports. I'm sure people have heard those. They were kind of sensationalized in the news that singing was super unsafe when it came to COVID-19. And it all related to the production of aerosols. And we all, maybe you don't know, but I heard aerosols way too much this summer. And they talked about how, like, aerosols are created whenever you speak loudly or whenever you sing. And so there's been study after study done this summer for what safe singing might look like. And we were part of all those conversations, and I'm thankful to you, Dr. Al Volker, and I we spent more time interacting than we ever have since he was my assistant principal back at the middle school, okay? And so we interacted a lot, and we came up with a plan that was based on research that had been done this summer that outside is way safer than inside. And pretty much the research says if you can be socially distanced and outside, you can sing, as long as you've got a mask on, you're going to be safe and you're not going to spread the virus. And so that's what we've committed to do. We've even got plans for inclement weather days where we're all over the school. So there's a gym that's open during period 3 on A day. So if we've got a day when the weather's pretty terrible, as long as we sing for less than 30 minutes in masks, we're going to be safe to sing. And so we've just had to, your word is have grace and flexibility.
Patience and grace, right?
Yeah, we've been flexible this year. And I've just told the kids, you know, we're getting to sing. There are so many schools around the state that aren't singing at all right now, or they're in a virtual environment. We're at least getting to connect with each other, and that's been great. And to be honest, I really love like going out to the tent, getting that change of scenery has been good for me. There's been mornings that have been pretty cold. There's been lawnmowers coming by. There's been construction equipment. There's been bugs. There was a day that we came in last week and the tent was kind of less than stable because of that giant storm we had last Sunday, but the kids have just been rolling with it.
Right.
As frisbees fly into the tent from the PE class, you know, we just make a joke out of it, and one of our girls or guys goes and picks up the frisbee and helps it on their way. And the gym kids laugh at us, and it's been really, really fun. Like it's been a good year. It's been good to be back with kids. We have our struggles. It's not perfect.
Right.
I wish it wasn't this way. But you kind of have a choice. You can either, you know, choose to be frustrated or choose to be fascinated. And I've been fascinated this year by how much the kids are able to do and the staff with the flexibility of building a really good online curriculum through Canvas. And I'm thankful for parents that are patient with us as we figure it out.
Yes, good points, good points. So I'm the new person on the block here, and you obviously a Ray-Pec grad, back full circle here to Ray-Pec. What would you say to me? What do I need to know? What do I need to learn to successfully lead this school district?
Well, hopefully you're figuring this out already, but the people are awesome. Our community is terribly invested in our school. There's a lot of civic pride about Ray-Pec. I know you haven't seen this yet because we haven't had to open it up for Friday nights. But for that football game, I actually used to live right over here. Before we moved to Raymore, we lived at Twin Oaks, which is right here. And my back porch faced the stadium. And every Friday night, we could sit out there with our hot cup of cocoa and we could hear the football games. And you ought to hear this place when it's full. And that has to do with civic pride. And it goes beyond that. It goes beyond just the football games. I mean, if you were to come to our December concert last year for the choirs, we have so many people that come to our concerts that we have to do the concerts twice. And even there, I hope the fire marshal's not watching this video because we break fire code. We've got people sitting in the aisles. We've got people standing at the doors because the community's just coming out to support us. And so I've never been a part of a community that's been more supportive of the schools than Ray-Pec. The teachers are super flexible. They need administrators to build them up. I mean, hold us accountable, but allow us to flourish. We're here because we want to do a great job, and sometimes we're just lacking those tools or the motivation to get that done as best we can. But every single staff member at Ray-Pec that I've interacted with is an incredible person with a heart for teaching, and that's what makes our district special. It's the reason people move here. It's the reason when I go talk to colleagues that they go, Ray-Pec, that's why we're on the map. I hope that's why you're here, because you'd heard about Ray-Pec and knew the quality of individuals and the quality of kids that Ray-Pec creates. Our graduates are leaving here and being super successful in their lives because of our commitment to our mission, I guess, to prepare each student for a successful and meaningful life. I really bought into that mission statement. I love it.
Excellent. That's exactly what I found so far, and I look for many more days with you and visiting your classroom and taking fun selfies at some point if we can all get back in the classroom.
That was fun. We took that selfie, and the girls sang for you, if I remember right.
I have that on video still.
That's great.
Thank you for being here today.
Oh, it's been my pleasure. Thanks so much.
Absolutely. Ray-Pec Community, it was another installment of Staff Spotlight. We'll be back in a couple more weeks with another special guest. Thanks to Stephen Rew for joining us today. You have a great day. We'll talk to you soon. Thank you.